The first card to come out here is Star Family. This card says, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. And I heard Ancient One. So whoever I am specifically tapped into in this reading, you have a particularly ancient soul. For some reason, I'm seeing something about ancient Greece or possibly ancient Rome during the heyday of the Roman Empire. I'm seeing a woman in a long white gown and gold jewelry of sorts, almost like a Greek goddess kind of energy coming through here. So that could be one of someone's spirit guides. That also could be you in this life or you in a past incarnation. I'm seeing like dark brown hair, very like tan skin. I'm not sure why I'm picking up on this imagery, but again, this could be a guide. This could be you in a past incarnation or in this life. But what I'm strongly getting from this card and hearing, you are so ancient that many people who are closely connected to your soul family are actually not physically incarnated at this time. I'm hearing someone say, I can't believe you're going back to Earth. And I almost feel as though that is what one of your good soul friends, who now might be a guide for you in this incarnation, may have said to you prior to you making the choice to take on that veil of amnesia and incarnate here. And hearing that, a major reason you incarnated at this time had something to do with Earth, meaning Mother Nature, like Gaia herself. I feel that I'm hearing you came to heal the Earth or connect in with the true core Earth frequency, and in doing so, to begin healing planet Earth. So you might be someone who is very drawn to nature, to gardening, to environmental matters. Like for some of you, this also could be speaking to someone who really has a love for animals. You also might simply be someone who has a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? A very grounding presence on others. It took me a while. I saw someone like walking barefoot through the grass in that download during the pause. And I also saw something about your nature is very raw and real to others. I know it's kind of hard to find the words to describe it, but you are incredibly grounded. It's like the exact polar opposite of being shallow or being superficial in nature. I'm getting that this, for someone I'm tuning into, this may be confusing for certain people around you because you might be able to adjust or kind of blend in physically in the collective. So you may be someone who, that isn't even quite the way to describe it. So you have there's such a mysterious energy coming through here that it's difficult to find the words. It's almost like there are these seeming paradoxes that are coming up in the reading where I start to say, well, you kind of blend in with the collective, and yet then it came to me like you completely stand out. And I was saying that you have this grounding, like raw, real presence in the lives of others, but also that they can misunderstand you. There are so many layers of complexity to your energy, and you see that showing up even in the mysterious way that some of the messages are presenting themselves. So I am going to get obviously some further clarification, but I'm just getting like people seem to misinterpret or misunderstand something about you because of how they perceive you physically versus how you actually are at a soul level or energetically, if that makes sense. I'm not sure who that message is for. That might just be for a specific person. But I feel as though you have walked this planet feeling very alone because much of your soul family is not incarnated at this time. And in fact, many of the people who have been physically incarnated around you may have actually been, I'm getting chills all over, by the way. You just carry this really, really intensely spiritual energy. And I'm hearing intimidating. I just know that your presence can be intimidating to other people because it almost gives them that effect of like giving them goosebumps. Like you might even have people say when you share your art, for example, if you sing or create music or paint or just by you being around, people might even make comments about how something you did or said gave them chills or I'm not even sure how to find the words to describe this, but it's like you have this effect on other people that they seem to realize and recognize through ways that you almost physically affect them or make them feel. And yet, you yourself often feel very deeply misunderstood. And this is because, again, you are a very ancient soul. And I'm hearing preschool. So I'm getting from someone, it's almost like you at times might, someone here, by the way, could be a literal teacher in some capacity, but or might have some connection with young children. You may have children of your own. But what I'm picking up on is there is a feminine coming through where it's like, and I'm not trying to be condescending when I say this, but sometimes your soul feels like it's been sent back to preschool, whereas you should be in college. So you are used to college and now you're in a class with preschoolers. And again, I'm not trying to be condescending, but it's like, just speaking to the fact that you have such an old soul and you are actually surrounded by a lot of people who might naturally have a much younger soul and be at a very different place in their spiritual development. So you have this depth to you that is truly mesmerizing to others. In fact, someone I'm speaking to, you may have even had certain teachers in your life recognize this in you. They may have told you that something about you as a student was very profound or unique. And this won't be for everyone, but for whoever that was for, it's like because even people that were older than you in terms of earth years, even from a young age, always had this strange sense of reverence for you when they recognized that you do have this like ancient soul frequency about you. With the gratitude card, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So you entered this life for very specific reasons. I'm hearing that while you may have been incarnated around many other souls that were younger than your own soul, or possibly even people that you had karmic connections to that may have been challenging to work through, this even could have possibly been family members for some of you. But although you had this in your life, you also have set very clear soul intentions to connect with very specific other souls who are physically incarnated at this time. Now, again, do recall that I said your soul is very ancient, and it seems that not a lot of your soul family is necessarily physically incarnated at this time, but there are some. And I'm hearing the words a rare few. There are a rare few that you've come to deeply connect with. And I'm getting that for most of you. You've actually met or interacted with some of these rare few already, but not many. There aren't many even on Earth at this time. Some of these could have been childhood best friends. These could have been family members that you felt this really powerful soul bond to. This could have been lovers in your life. And the thing about when you do activate one of these shared ancient soul connections that are very rare for you in this physical incarnation, they don't go away. I mean, of course, they weren't created in this life because these are souls you've shared this eternal bond with and connected lifetime after lifetime. But when you activate that connection consciously, those people always stay very strongly in your consciousness. So what I'm getting is you have a certain circle of people, that rare circle of those who are really deeply part of your soul family, which again, there aren't many of at this time, who you're kind of in this like never-ending dance with. So you might enter or leave each other's physical lives. You may go years without speaking, but they're always kind of there in your mind, in your consciousness, and they always seem to come back around again. For some of you, these could be For example, this may be an ex or even multiple exes from your past that were actually past lovers that you share a really strong connection with. For some of you, you might also feel as well that you've really struggled to fully tie yourself into a particular social circle. For some of you, this may even be struggling to tie yourself into a specific romantic relationship, although that won't be the case for everyone. And if that's resonating, this may be because there are still soulmates, platonically or romantically, that your higher self really wants you to meet and to connect with, that you set intentions for this lifetime to connect with. And if you were to bind yourself more strongly into a particular social group or romantic relationship for some of you, then it might prevent you from being able to meet and connect with these other souls. But because of this, I'm also getting that you live a life that looks very nomadic to others, even if you aren't literally nomadic, meaning even if you're not literally moving about the geographical planet, you definitely are socially nomadic. So you might drift between connections, friend groups, social groups. But again, always with that core of a few souls in your life that you are deeply bonded to, that always seem to come back either into your mind or into your physical life experience. With the card Patience, I accept that everything happens in divine order. This has been the greatest lesson in your life at this time. Radically choosing to surrender to this divine timing of your life. You are one of the brave few who is conscious enough and brave enough to hold this attitude of surrender in a world where nearly everyone is trying to control. You are very much going against the grain in this sense, and in doing so, coming up against very deep-rooted 3D programs and limiting belief systems around control. I feel like your very presence and existence is very triggering to matrix-based collective programs and belief systems. It's like simply by you existing and beaming your light and remaining radically present and surrendered, that energy is dissolving these collective structures and belief systems. And that's a message your guides really strongly want you to know. It's that the mission is you. The mission is your energy, your presence, because through that energy you are naturally emitting, through that presence, you are actually dissolving ancient, human-based, ego-based, limiting belief systems and paradigms on this planet, the impact of your existence here at this time. And by the way, I am getting that for some of you, just existing here in the dense planet Earth at this time collectively has been a struggle. It's not always been easy for you, but simply your existence here is having such a powerful effect. And that's something that your guides very strongly want you to begin to recognize. Now, we do have the cards Nine of Wands and Page of Wands. Nine of Wands is about someone getting tired, feeling drained. That might be you at times. Feeling like you are getting tired of the way that certain others might be triggered by you, the density of this planet, of this life. At times it might feel so heavy that you may have moments of just breaking down and crying or just needing to lay in bed and rest. But right after that card, we have the Page of Wands upright. I see that there is some kind of very powerful, positive news or something coming into your life that is going to be very positive and is also, notice how it goes from 9 wands to 1 wand. It like releases a lot of that burden. So what is this good news coming in? Okay, we have the Eight of Swords upright. So you may have been feeling stuck or trapped in something, or felt like you just couldn't move forward when it came to a particular situation in your life. You may have even felt defeated or like you failed something. This is a very strange and specific energy. This could be a relationship. This could be in connection with your work, your life generally. Yeah, this has a Nine of Cups reverse energy as well. There may have been like a broken dream kind of energy here. Something you thought that you were giving up on. And yet, here we have the Three of Cups in the upright position. This is an incredibly celebratory time. This is a card symbolizing happy times, celebration, typically some kind of powerful milestone that comes in as well. But the ironic thing here is it almost comes in after a time where you've felt trapped. You felt as though there's been some dream that's been broken. You've felt some kind of unhappiness in your life. Then suddenly it's like this very celebratory time comes in for you. And I feel like this is your guides wanting to say, if you're going through something very challenging right now, that happy times are almost like right around the corner for you, but it might just be something that you can't see in the 3D yet. We also have Four of Wands upright. This is a powerful card of reunion, of coming home. And I feel that so much about this life for you has been a deep remembrance and a coming home to yourself, meaning your true, innermost, authentic self. And in that coming home to the self, you are leading others home as well. But I see with this Four of Wands, this usually speaks to some kind of a reunion. I keep hearing something about a wedding, so I'm not sure if someone's getting engaged or someone's getting married. This also could represent someone meeting or reconnecting with one of those rare ancient soulmates we've been talking about that you haven't even encountered yet in this lifetime, or that maybe you experienced some kind of a disconnect with or a separation with. Yeah, something may have been delayed with the Page of Swords upright. And I'm getting that if you felt a little bit stuck in a particular area of your life, it's exactly for that reason, because this beautiful, harmonious, aligned thing is being lined up for you spiritually and energetically, but it's been delayed here for some reason. So, wow, I'm getting a powerful download that sometimes when we create what I sometimes refer to as soul checkpoints, which are what I think of as very powerful moments in our life that are decided in advance in our soul contracts that we create at that higher self level prior to incarnating here. And when something goes awry in the physical world, and in this lifetime, you reach the point in time when you were supposed to hit one of those soul checkpoints, but because of the circumstances, because of someone else involved, etc., it's delayed for some reason. This can actually cause you to artificially have this feeling as though you are stuck, but you're not actually stuck. You are exactly where you intended to be at a soul level. It's just that because of some circumstances, it may not be ready for you yet. So in a sense, it is being prepared for you, and you're being perfectly placed in the position to receive it when it is aligned for you. But that feeling of stuckness you have, or that restless feeling of shouldn't this have happened already, can be a sign that this was actually something that was powerfully part of your soul intentions, but it's been divinely delayed for some reason. And again, I'm hearing that phrase of trust the process here. The Cloak of Christ from the Rumi Oracle. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. In the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the King's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, this cloak is a sacred container that places your body and soul within the loving energy of divine consciousness. This unconditionally loving energy is unlimited. It is typified by wholeness. There is nothing that could cause it to turn away from you, not even those parts of you that may fill you with fear, shame, guilt, or regret. Can you allow yourself to take refuge in that knowledge? For you, this is essential. There is a person, place, thing, or belief that has become like a manacle around your wrist, or an iron ball and leg iron, preventing you from moving forward with the grace you have earned spiritually. You are being empowered to shed that. Let yourself be cloaked in this energy and receive the spiritual assistance you deserve now. There is a reason for this. The unfolding of your life purpose is taking a turn for the better, and your energy is required to fuel that new life.